Hi, here's a video where I'm going to show you how to get all the right settings on your Iris Explorer I60 with the R10 camera. Every Canon camera has slightly different menu systems. It's very similar, but as I'm preparing this one for a client who's just ordered the R10, I thought I'd just make an updated video for this one. Okay, so let's switch it on and open up the screen. Here we go. So just I'm going to reset the camera completely. There we go. So now we've got a brand new camera set up as if you just got it from a shop. So the first thing to do is, let's go in here. Now, I recommend you just leave it on JPEG. So that's the L here. And don't take raw photos unless you're going to be editing the photos and really want the very top quality images, but the file sizes are going to be quite big, and you're going to have to use different software to be able to look at it easily. So that's fine. Okay, so then what I'll do first is, just so that you can see it a bit better, I'm going to go straight away to increasing the brightness of the screen, because I find the brightness on these screens a little bit on the low side. So I put it on 6. Yeah. Okay. Next one is I always tend to, on the power saving, I tend to increase this because I don't like it switching off too quickly. So I just usually put it on 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. Viewfinder, well, I don't really touch that one, so that's fine. So, oh yeah, so here to navigate on the menu, just in case you're completely new, is this circle here that you've got on the bottom of the circle will make you go down, and then left and right will go left and right if you need to. See, it's going down the sub menu here, the 1, 2, 3 here. You can just go left and right. This is a touch screen, so you can actually click on the screen itself. Sometimes when you're in a menu, so if we're in, for example, this beep menu here, to get out of it, you just click menu, and then you come back up one level in the menu tree. Okay, so we've done the power saving and the screen brightness. If you've got a brand new memory card in here, it's a very good idea to format the card. So I'll show you how to do that. Click on here and then just click OK, and it will format the card and put it all in the format that's required for the camera. Okay, so let's go to the first menu. So this is the red menu. This will show you all of the settings for how to take a photo. So here I would recommend on JPEG, like I said. Then I would leave these on disabled. Like, if you start becoming a little bit more comfortable with the camera, it's a good idea to read the menu, have a look at some videos online, because some of these features might be interesting for you to know, but let's keep it simple. So here we're going to leave all of these as they are standard. This one as well. So flash control, there's actually a shortcut button here, which sometimes you can press by accident when holding the camera, and you can sometimes by accident disable it. So that's the first menu there. Now at the moment it's enabled, so that's what we want. But if you're, for example, here, and you accidentally press here, if you press it twice, you could accidentally switch it off, which you don't want to do. But anyway, I've just left it like that. Okay, let's get back to the menu. So, so this is one of the first ones. So on page 4 here, we've got AWB, which is automatic white balance. Now we don't want that. We don't want the camera telling me, trying to guess what the white balance needs to be. So in here, we want it to be on the white fluorescent light. Excuse me. So that's one of the first main image feature settings we need to do. All of these other ones we can just leave as they are. You can play around with some of them, like picture style and things like that, creative mode, but just leave it. Keep it simple. we leave these as they are. Just going down them. Now, drive mode, there's a shortcut button for drive mode here on the left here with those three little rectangles over the top of each other. That's the same as this one here. So you go in here and that sets, either you just take one photo or you take multiple photos very fast, or you take photos fast. Now, the R10 can handle high continuous photos. I recommend you leave it on that, unless you find it difficult and you end up taking way too many pictures when you're on burst mode, but that's the setting I prefer. There we go. All of these are left exactly like that. Image stabilization, I would recommend you leave it off because it's trying to help you take stable photos, but that's usually for landscapes and things like that. And we're taking macro photos, and it's usually more of a problem than an aid. Okay, so next one. Let's keep going. These are all, just leave them the same. These are some video settings. Unless you want to make videos of the irises, you could play around with these, but let's leave it like that. So, okay, autofocus. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do, but I just leave it standard. The only one that could sometimes be beneficial is the autofocus area. You could have different options here. Now, I prefer the flexi zone. Sorry, either the very specific one point, and then you click on the screen, or the expanded area. And I think flexi zone autofocus 1 is the one I use. Yeah, that's it. So you get like quite a big area in the center. That's the square here. That's what it's going to use to try and figure out where to autofocus the image on. So that's quite a useful one. But you can move it around by clicking on the screen. But just leave it as it is. That's fine. Or in the center. Okay, let's go back to the menu. All of these you can leave the same. One that I switch off because we don't actually need it is the autofocus beam firing. So I just switch that off, disabled. There we go, and then click menu to come back out. Oop, no, sorry. There we go. All of these can be left the same. There we go. And now this is the menu for how you view the images. So we don't need to touch these for now, unless you want to do some editing. Like, this camera is very capable. Now, one thing that I do like, and this is somebody asked a question a couple of days ago, which I thought was a great idea, is I think it's all the way in here. This camera has got saved settings. Actually, I'll come back to that in a minute once we've done the other settings. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. So let's come out of the menu here. Now, the other settings we need are the three main image settings at the bottom here. So the first one is speed. So it's 1/125th of a second. So that's the speed at which the shutter will open up at, or the length of time the shutter will be open for, to be more precise. So this one here you can change. Oops, no, sorry. Click on the screen. Now, if you're very stable, like if you tend to take photos and you don't have much of a shake, you could put it onto 1/60. Or if you feel like you might have a little bit of a shake in your hands, put it onto 1/80. So I'm going to leave it for 1/80 for now, but I actually tend to put it on 1/60. The next one, that's the aperture. So that's the amount of light that the lens is going to allow coming through. And so if you've got a very dark iris, you kind of want to leave it open as wide as possible. If you've got a very bright eye, you can close it up. Now, when you close it up, you have a deeper depth of field. So that's the distance, the focus area, the distance away from the camera in which what you're taking a photo of will be sharp. And you want to try and keep it as small as possible, but it will reduce the light. So what I'll do is I'll set this for somebody like I'm going to take a photo of somebody with blue eyes. So what we can do is I would go up to f8. Now that's somebody who's got pretty blue eyes. If somebody's got a very a white deposit in the eyes and you need even more, you need to reduce the light of the images a little bit more, you can go up to f10. And then ISO, as this camera is so good, I would actually go up to 1000. There we go, up here. But I used to always say 800 for most cameras, but this camera is really good, so I would go ISO 1000, and we'll take a photo. Okay, so those are the settings to take the photo. Now, let me get back to what I was saying earlier. This camera has got a really cool feature. It's got in the manual, this is the normal mode, like the manual mode. This is how we take photos. But we can actually save all the settings we've just put on here and save them into one of these custom slots. And then if ever somebody touches your camera and messes up the settings, you just put it on C1 or C2 and you get them all back straight away. So that's, somebody asked me a question that made me think of this. I think it's helpful. So let's save these, register settings, okay, and we'll save these in C1. Great. Okay. Now what I'll do is, so yeah, if you want to get out of the menu, you can actually half press the shutter button as well. Now I'm going to set it for much darker irises. And here we can go, let's say 4.5. That will be a pretty dark eye. And we can save this in C2. There we go. So now we've got C1 and C2. So let's put it on C1. Okay. And I'll just take a photo of my eye. So I'm just going to put it on the standard mode. So just switch it on. So hang on a second. A bit tricky sometimes taking photos of your own eyes. There we go. So let's have a look. So I've got a mixed eye. So the image is maybe a little bit too dark. But if you had a bright blue eye, it would definitely be the right lighting for this. So you get a nice sharp image. You can really see the fibers. Not sure if the camera's picking up on this screen here, but yeah, so that's good. Now let's show you C2. So that's for dark irises, and here you can see the difference. See, that will be a lot brighter. Here we go. Now this actually would be useful if you were interested in the pupil border, because you need a brighter setting so you can see the pupil border a lot more with these settings. So there you have it. Now it's good to get to know your camera a bit more and play around with some of these settings. The key ones are speed, aperture, and ISO, and it's mainly the aperture that I play with. I try and keep it as small as possible, but still be able to see all the details I want. And if it's if you've got stable hands, you can actually make the aperture smaller by letting a little bit more light in by increasing the length. So decreasing that 80 to 60 will enable a little bit more light to come in. You can even go further. Oops, hang on a minute. You can, I sometimes say put photos on 1/40, but you have to be quite stable. So yeah, there you go. If you've got any questions, send me a message. We can always do a Zoom call and I can help you reset these settings on your camera if you need. But that was a short video to show you how to set the settings on the R10 Canon camera.